do have a quorum. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and thank you. I know that I was out of town, but the veterans, how was the veterans?
It was only fair.
Very well.
It was only fair.
Thank you.
It was excellent.
Really good.
Thank you for having that, and thanks for
Hey,
anybody
it
who's a veteran. Thank you for
awesome
your
pleasure.
service and all you've given. We appreciate it. Love our freedom. I'd like to. Does everyone have a copy of the minutes from the October 20th meeting? Hopefully you had an opportunity to look at them, review them, once I've sent them out. So I would entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes of the meeting.
Second. Any discussion? No discussion, then all those in favor, raise your hand. Say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. All right. Glad you did a fantastic job.
I hope so.
I think you did last time.
Okay, financial report for October 2025. The operating account has $911,161. The ICS accounts are $406,047. Lake dredging account, $31,871. Security special assessment account has $15,947. The debit card still has $2,503. Petty cash $571. There's a money market that holds the budgeted annual contribution to the ICF fund, which is $30,747. The Infrastructure Crisis Fund, we have 3 CDARS accounts totaling $337,423. We met with CPM on November 4th to reposition our funds into higher interest earning accounts. The operating account, any amount over $250,000 will be moved to ICS accounts, which will earn higher interest, but will be available to move to our operating account as needed. Closed Midwest Bank accounts, $262,000 will be moved into a laddered CD, 13, 26, and 52 weeks maturity. We're moving Lake Dredging Fund into a 26-week CD. With the annual contribution of the ICF fund, we are creating a new 26-week CDAR. Creating a roads account to deposit construction bonds that will be used each year for road repairs and repair of road cuts. And I'm asking all the committee chairs to review the current budget and consider what funds will be needed for any new projects or expenses in order to set next year's budget, which we'll be doing in the next month. The monthly revenue collected assessments was $37,785. Other income was $16,656. Monthly bills paid were $38,406. Delinquent accounts, we have 551, leaving our accounts receivable at $455,816. We will be meeting with Tech Collect, a collections company suggested by CPM, to start collecting some of our delinquent accounts. More details will come after that meeting. There are 201 lots from the subdivision that are currently forfeited to Jefferson County trustees due to unpaid taxes. This number is down from 282 in 2024 and was 331 in 2022. This shows that more lots are being bought from the county than are being forfeited, which is a great trend for us. It appears that people are seeing the value of these lots and are purchasing them, knowing that assessments and country club dues are part of the deal. Our assessments and country club dues tend to be much less than comparable communities and golf communities. And I expect this trend to continue until most of the unhappy property owners are gone and replaced by happy community members who will contribute positively to the community. The cash disbursement report, some larger expenses to note. We have the CPM monthly fee of $12,166. Lots of construction bond refunds, and we're still catching up with those refunds that were unreconciled since city and village turnover to CPM. So we're getting a lot of those done. 1L lawn care, $7,480 for mowing, $2,400 for dye line treatment of Spring Lake Dam and the field behind the dam. Oakley fertilizer, $10,184 for rock salt for snow removal. Nemo fisheries, $6,000 for fish stocking that happened in June. Baker Automotive, $1,851 for the 2015 Chevy truck repairs. And that's my report.
Do you have any questions? Thank you, Elaine.
All right, thank
Very
you.
good.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move on to standing committee reports, and I'll start with administration and legal.
I think you have to approve now.
Oh,
I make a motion to approve.
second. Thank you. Any discussion?
Who seconded?
John? Sorry. Any discussion? No, hearing none. All in favor, raise your right hand, raise your hand. None opposed, unanimous. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the standing committee reports, and I'll start with administration and legal. Just a couple of things. We met with the attorney recently with a number of different things, but the two things I'm going to report on, we really asked him what are our guidelines, give us some direction on what we can do with past due accounts. People who owe us tons of money and continue to stay here, continue to enjoy the amenities, yet they start paying us, and what we can do. And he gave us quite an outline, or gave us some different ideas what we can do, and then we learned of this new collection agency. Now that's not going to take care of some of the past due ones, but we're methodically working through the people who continue to enjoy Raintree but don't contribute to the bottom line, and what we can do and what we can't. The other thing I'd like to report, and this is really, really important, and I hope everyone thinks about this, is, after asking him several questions, he stopped and just told us, you guys, your covenants and your bylaws and your rules are not good. It's an issue. I know Dave Woldridge was hoping to have them rewritten. I know Jim McClung was hoping to have them rewritten, and that's now my objective. If we don't get anything else done over the next 1 year, I'd like to see our covenants, bylaws, and rules get put into place. Currently, they're so intermixed with what they are. Covenants really should be, here's the rights and privileges because you're a Raintree resident, and the bylaws should be, here's what you can do and can't do, and the rules for whether it's ACC, lakes and beaches, whatever is, here's the detail. But ours are just all over the place. Some other communities around here use a similar format, and they're all having the same problems. And so we asked him, is there any way we could get the community to tentatively approve rewriting the bylaws and the covenants so that we don't spend $10,000 or however many dollars it's going to cost to rewrite them, and so we could have this pre-approval, if you will. They said, absolutely not. We're going to have to bite the bullet. It's going to take a lot of town hall meetings. It's going to take a lot of people reassuring people that we're not substantively changing them. We're not taking anything away from anyone. We're not deflecting power from one person or one group to another. We just need to get our indentures in place. And so that's what we're going to be working on over the next, hopefully not year, certainly 5 by September, have everything teed up and ready to go, and a lot of awareness in the community that we just need to rewrite those and have them done correctly. And so I throw that out there and just say, please, it's gonna be a big project. We're gonna have to go through every one of those motions in there and see which ones pertain to covenants and bylaw. You know, the impression I got was, once you make covenants, they should be so 50,000 foot that you maybe have an amendment every year or two. And then once you have bylaws, you maybe an amendment once in a while. And then the rules are really the meat of what happens in your community. And that those are dynamic. We can change those as the different committees submit to the board, and the board says, yeah, that's the right way to go. And so that's really my objective over the next year is to get that straightened out. But just please talk about it with anybody and everybody that's in the community. Tell them that, hey, we're gonna do this, we want to do this project, we want to do it right, but it doesn't make sense to spend all this effort and all this money if at the end of the year we say, no, we're not comfortable with that. We need to make sure everyone's comfortable with it long before the election. Okay, thank you. ACC.
Okay, the ACC meeting was on November the 4th here in the meeting room. There were 6 committee members present. There were 3 plans submitted and approved by the committee for new homes. There were 5 miscellaneous construction projects submitted. 4 were tabled for additional information, and 1 was denied. Since the meeting, we've received 2 more new home construction plans, and they will be reviewed by the committee at the December 2nd meeting. If these plans are approved, the association will have 24 new homes under construction. We still have 40 miscellaneous construction projects that are underway. The committee reviewed the new covenants that passed in September, which changed some of the new home procedures. The first being the responsibility of the new homeowners for road damage. We concluded that the responsibility would begin when construction starts and will end when the building inspector completes the final inspection. The inspectors will take pictures of the road prior to and upon completion of the project. The second change is the construction bond refund. And will there be a new level of refund to the new homeowner? This is still up for discussion and final decision by the committee. There will be 2 different refunds. Both of those will be depending on whether there's a road cut or not a road cut. So we're going to be reducing down from 2 people paying us for construction bonds and 2 people getting refunds. We're going to cut it down to 1 person paying and 1 person getting the refund. What that refund is going to be might change. It depends on what the committee wants to come up with here. Apparently we have the opportunity to change that now. Whether it changes or not, I don't know. But without it being in the covenants, we can certainly discuss it and bring it to the board. So the next ACC meeting will be on December 2nd at 7 p.m. here at the office. Something to add on to what Elaine brought up. We have 5 new owner notifications in the last 10 days. So these are people that are buying into the community. They're either buying lots or they're buying houses. So I'm hoping, I'd like to think that the community is still popular. I know that sometimes we kind of badmouth ourselves on these social media sites, but we got to stop doing that stuff. The community is still popular. It's obvious. The amount of lots that are up for sale by the county has been reduced dramatically. And I think that kind of goes back to a couple of years ago when I think Deb and a couple of other board members decided to encourage people to buy adjacent lots to their houses if they were available, and then adjoin the lots. So a lot of those are getting taken off of the county list as owned by the county. So we're going in the right direction, I believe, with that. And that's about it for the ACC.
Thank you. Communications?
Well, I'm working on the next range respondent right now, and always happy to get questions that you might be wondering about that I can include. I'm making up my own ideas about what you might be wondering about right now. But as Kent mentioned, town halls and the folks who are on my committee right now, and I have meetings that we have to have once everybody's back in town. But we do want to get some town halls set up. We've talked about some other things. We have talked about doing some new owner orientation meetings. Just a couple different ways we could go with that. So we have things going on. We're thinking about, you'll be hearing from us, believe me.
Thank you. Lakes and beaches, Mike?
We met and there's probably about an hour-long discussion regarding the buoy placement within the lakes. We had a resident that's on the committee, Dave Cox, do a three-dimensional diagram of the lakes. And what we want to do is make it as safe as possible for everyone. Some of the buoys are not placed correctly. Nobody's fault. It's just we're really hitting it hard to make sure that the buoys are going to be placed appropriately, and not one cove gets better treatment than anybody. It's all driven on safety and the turning diameter of the different boats. Some of the boats turn faster, a little sharper than others. We just want to make sure that younger kids and skiers aren't getting whipped around. We've had some near misses in the community. So what we want to do is make sure that we have them in a diagram, and before you wake up one day and these buoys are just placed somewhere, we want to make sure that we push it out to everybody in the community so everybody's aware of where these are going, and give you the opportunity to come and discuss before we make a final decision on it. So I think it's important for that, for everybody in the community to really know that we're thinking deeply about the safety of everybody here and just not placing them. Once the buoys are put in, we will, with a longitude and latitude location, we will then read that in, and then we'll approach the board to ask them to signify that that's where they're going to be from that point on. One breaks away, then we just go right back and we replace it exactly where it should be. That was one of the main things. Another thing was we had a vote to appropriate funds. I reached out to 7 or 8 different companies. I spoke with Dale Miller with Shannon and Wilson, a contractor. I spoke with Mike Hackmeister from Cochran Engineering. He's out in Wentzville. I talked to him for about a week and a half, and he finally came back and said that their company is just not going to bid on it. They say that they have too many other things going on. Got another bid from Gotil Incorporated, which is in off Olive Street. The bid was like $5,000. And then TSI Engineering, they're too busy. I called another lady from from Jefferson City, and she just said it's too small of a job for them. So the recommendation was Shannon and Wilson did prior work for our community, and we think that that would be the best bet to have them come out. And when they come out, we want to make sure that they do a general inspection of the summer and winter lakes, similar to what the Missouri Department of Natural Resources does to the autumn lake and the spring lake. We do have seepage at the point of the backside of winter and summer, which is, I know we have a gentleman that's really upset about the spillway, and it's near and dear to him, and I get it. And we will have that looked at, but I think it's important to make sure the seepage issues are looked at, because I think they're more detrimental, and that would be encompassed within the inspection along with the spillway. They would charge us $3,000 to come out and look at it and give us an opportunity and a plan what they would think to and a cost to fix it. the committee voted, and they requested that I come to the board and appropriate the funds from Lakes and Beaches to spend up to the $3,000 for the Shannon and Wilson company, or engineering company, Dale Miller, to come out. So.
And that's a new business, right?
So I'd like to, because of Robert's Rules of Order, I'd like to move all motions go to new business or unfinished business. Go ahead and finish your report.
Just letting you know.
And if you tell us ahead of time you're gonna have a motion, that's a good thing.
Sure. Further, we had a meeting with Aquatic Control regarding the lakes. The only lake that seems to be an issue is Autumn Lake. Autumn Lake has a very high propensity for southern naiad, which is an invasive species. There are some other invasive species, but none like the naiad. To control it, unfortunately, you have to treat it. And you have to treat it more than just one time. It's got to be a regularity between the beginning of April through September. And they have to come out, and it just has to be treated continuously. Some areas are better than others. Some will look, there's no rhyme or reason. The guy came out and we took him for a ride around the boat, around the lake on the boat. And he did some testing, and the cost for it is about $25,000 for them to, from April to September, get rid of the naiad the best they can. The second part of it, he talked to us, Kent was with me, and he thinks that Autumn Lake, from what he could see, may be overpopulated. The slot limit on some of the bass, we have too many of them. You know, the 10 to 13 inch fish, the short ones. We don't have enough aquatic smaller fish and I don't know, habitat for them. And what they can do is they suggested that we get some artificial habitat. And the members on the meeting, on the group, we can create that ourselves with PVC and put that in the lake in different locations to try and rebound some of the smaller minnows and such. The last part of it was they offer a fish survey where they'll take outriggers and go around the lake, and they will do an electric shock. The fish will come up, and they'll weigh them, they'll measure them. Any invasive fish that we don't want, as long as we have somebody there, they'll take them out of the water. They will do a count of the fish in different areas, so we'll have a better understanding of our fish population. And if we have too many of one fish, like you have too many crappie, they could be affecting the bass. There's just a bunch of it. We would do it at Autumn Lake and then Spring Lake. When he came out and checked Spring Lake, he said there was no naiad in that lake at all. He said there was switchgrass and I forget what else. Water willow. And switchgrass there. So he didn't see a concern. We did ask if he would come out on December the 1st at our next meeting to give us a presentation. So if anybody is available wants to come, he'll be here kind of giving us the, I have reached out to another company called Solitude, and I talked to a young lady there, explained her the same. She's working on an apples to apples comparison of what I just told you that the other company's got to do. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it for the lakes. Beaches.
Thank you. David?
Yes, we've got everything hooked up. We got our salt ordered and paid for. All of our trucks are running. All the snowplows been hooked up. Everything's been ran through. They start them every day. Maintenance has been going through, trimming trees and just doing all the regular maintenance stuff. They winterize the beach house today. We had some requests at the beach. They worked on that. And I have a list that I'm gonna turn in on new business for a few supplies we need. Like steel pole saw and another saw and some ratchet straps to hold down our snowplow equipment, because they should be replaced every year because of the salt and the weather. We don't want the snowplow to be, the spreader to fall out of the back of the truck. But other than that, everything seems to be going as normal and no new.
I do want to get another vibrator on order for the
Okay,
salt box,
okay,
with their permission.
okay. And that's it, pretty much we're ready for the snow. Everything runs and everybody's ready to work.
Rose, sounds like you're begging for snow.
Not me. I'm not doing it. Just for prepared.
Roads? Okay, so, the asphalt guys, started today. They did a 700 foot, area back on Richmond and some patches. They'll be in here the rest of the week, weather permitting. And hopefully wrap up, the loop, what I was talking about. Basically, it's a whole loop that is addressing the things that I had in the, information that we handed out the last meeting. So they'll be in here doing approximately about another 110,000, 100,000, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. And we're gonna also doctor up the, culvert on Peachtree a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit on the front and back and smooth it out. Very easy fix. Cause that culvert being in the concrete so it can't collapse like the other one did is a little bit thicker, and there was a pipe in the way that we couldn't put it down any further than it was to make up that difference of it being thicker, so that's why the hump was created. But very easy fix. We'll add some asphalt front and back side and done.
Okay. Thank you. Rules?
The rules met, we went over, and I just wanna make sure it's clear to everybody here and or on social media. I'm not on social media pushing this stuff out, but it's funny how you can have a meeting and you can have members here and have 2 people in attendance, and by the time everybody leaves the meeting, starts getting pushed out on social media, and I don't know where it comes from. It's almost like people put stuff on social media just to get a rise out of people. So I just wanna make sure that everybody's crystal clear, because there's several people in this room that were at that meeting, and there's 2 other people that were here as well. We live in a community where you have rules, and it's an unfortunate way of life. If you don't have rules, this place is gonna go to shit in a handbasket. And I, along with the members of the committee, want to make sure, number one, that the community is not an eyesore. So what we decided was, starting December 1st, we're gonna look for boats, trailers, vehicles that are derelict, improperly parked, and they shouldn't be in front of residents. And any residents have trash and debris. That's it. That's simple. Okay, we're not looking for people with mold on their house. Somebody left here, run off saying that I'm gonna start kicking in doors, do search warrants for guns, that we're gonna be doing DWI checkpoints and golf carts. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And it's almost plausible and laughable that people just gotta get it. So I just wanna make sure that everybody here understands the rules are for a reason. And I suggest before September, if somebody doesn't want rules, that somebody approaches the board and you guys vote on it in September. If you don't want rules, we just won't have rules. People just do whatever they want. You know, we're not trying to be mean to people. We're just trying to make sure that the community that you invest in is a nice community, and everybody here lives the same. I have to follow the rules. Everybody should follow the rules. That's just the way I look at it. So that'll be December 1st. If you get a letter, you have 10 days. We've given everybody 6 weeks. 6 weeks to get boats and trailers and what have you out of your front of your house illegally parked. December 1st, you'll get a 10-day letter. Means you have 10 more days. You're getting 7 weeks and 3 days to get your stuff straight. And then after that point, you'll be censured. And if you can't get it by that point, I don't know what to tell you. That's it for the rules.
Okay. And finally, security and technology.
We've been a little busy. We've had gates rammed. We had one rammed last night. unfortunately, I ended up catching up with the lady and spoke with her about it. She was more bothered that we would take the time to go to her house and ask her about ramming the gate when she admitted she did it. Then just calling up here and saying, hey, my husband and I got in a fight and I didn't have a key pass, so I just pulled down here in the lot and wait 10 minutes and just revved up the gas and just flew through the gate and smashed it. That's what she did. So that's one. On Halloween night, I had another gentleman that lives here, and he pulled up to the back gate of the clubhouse, and I've got it on video. Got out of his truck, walked up to the gate, grabbed the gate, just kept pushing and pushing, and just snapped it off. Approached his father the next day. He denied that the truck was his or had anything to do with his property. The car that was in his driveway that was following it, I asked him about that, and then it was a different story. I called his son on the phone. He got into an argument with his son on the phone in front of me. Wanted to know why he was there, what he did. So it's pretty simple. I mean, this is another thing. These people just do the right thing. I mean, nobody who wants to live in a community where that's what kind of stuff's going on. These people ramming gates and people just doing whatever they want. So unfortunately, it's part of what we have to do to maintain sanity in this place is to approach these people and make sure that they're either censured or they pay for whatever the damage is. We had a police report written on that one. We had an issue on Saturday, the 15th, where somebody, and we're still investigating it, it appears to be a dually truck that was at the dam and ran over, I think it was 4 concrete yellow pillars to stop somebody from going over there, and just rammed them, smashed them down, and then drove the truck to the bottom of the hill. So, yeah, that's something else we have to, it's your money, everybody in the community. So we'd appreciate if anybody knows anyone that possibly was involved, that, somebody, you can do it anonymously, just somebody let us know. It's just not cost effective for us to run a community where people just blatantly just destroy stuff. And we're going to request a new business. We would like to put 2 cameras down at the maintenance area. When you come through the maintenance gate down there, we've got all the maintenance areas not surveilled. We got no surveillance down there. You get gas tanks down there that are unprotected. The maintenance area, all the trucks and stuff. So we would like to ask at the new business that we get funding for that. And last but not least, we have a laser, concrete laser that just disappeared. Nobody knows about it. It was here October of last year, and nobody knows where it's at. So I'll be making a police report for the felony theft on that. Other than that, that's it.
All right, thanks. Okay, let's move to the committee reports. Unfinished business. The first thing is the purchasing procedure that I given last time and asked if you guys would take a look at it. I don't know if anybody had any thoughts about it. My quick thoughts are 2 things. First of all, this is kind of a blanket policy, and on each one of these different categories, up to $500, 500 to 25, 25 to 10,000, 10,000 up. It talks about who's capable of doing those things, but it says within an approved budget, and I'm not sure that. I think this was probably a good procedure when it was written, but it doesn't say anything about maintenance items that that just need. And I'm not talking specifically to the maintenance department. I'm just saying maintaining things like things that just have to get paid, or things that come up. And I don't know if we can work that into our budget, or if those things are all in there historically. I mean, I don't know if or if there's a line item for those things, or
as long as they repeat every year, they should be in the budget.
but if something breaks, but it's a necessary thing, I don't know. I'm new to this, so I'm trying to.
Then you'd have to. It's not budgeted. You'd have to appropriate the funds and approve it to do it.
And then are these amounts the right amount, up to $500, 500 to 2,500, 2,500 to 10,000? I'm not saying we have to change anything now, I just like to have a discussion. That helps, John,
I mean, I would say from the time I've served on the board, the dollar amounts need to get changed, because that document, I think, is at least 17 years old, maybe older. I think the dollar amounts aren't realistic in today's economy. The other big one that we consistently run into is, and Mike just ran into it as a new board member, companies learn Raintree's got that policy, and they won't bid on things, because for them to take the time to bid on it costs the company money. And they know we're not gonna give them the work, so they don't deliver the bids, so I think that
well,
should
we've kind of painted ourselves into the corner.
Right, so
I ran into that.
yeah, I think that needs to be changed, that we need to have written proof, which could be just an email exchange, that we solicited the bid, and, you know, X amount of time lapses, that they don't do the bid, but you know, we can't hold up Raintree forever because of a purchasing policy or guideline. You know, so I think that part, we need to rework and reword it, that it doesn't box us into the corner, because I think for years Raintree's been doing business with exactly what I said. You solicit the bids, after X amount of time, you don't get the bids, you go forth with what you have to take care of business in the community.
And I think we've done that, haven't we?
Yep, we have.
So, I mean, despite the
Correct.
policy, when people try and then they
Can't get
can't,
it in.
Right.
then
Yep.
that's a
that's why-
different
I think
story.
we just need to show that we
So we need to
have,
maybe change that's why we brought it
or
here.
show that we have the documentation that the bids were solicited, you know, more than just, okay, I called here, I called here.
Right.
You know.
We're happy
with
with,
an email or something.
One Stop, the porta potties, we've been using the same company for how long? It doesn't make sense to each year go back and try to find 3 bids.
Right.
I did price it, they're good.
What's that?
I did price it.
Well, I did too,
I
but
shopped
it just,
it and they were
it
good.
seems like if they're gonna continue to be a good vendor for us, and they don't raise our prices significantly, we're just spending a lot of time with.
Maybe
Don't.
put for something that's repetitive, you know, seasonally or year after year. Whether it's 3 years, 5 years, something, that'll be the point that you need to resolicit bids, just to make sure that you're getting a fair and appropriate.
I mean,
price
that's
for
part of
the
the
work.
budget, so it's in the budget, but I just, I don't wanna get, I don't wanna really get rid of bids because of that. I think it's important that we get bids, and it's important that it's shared with the full board, and any larger project has to be shared with the full board, and everybody knows what's going on.
Agreed. Not trying to eliminate that, maybe we need to change the numbers, the thresholds, or maybe put something in there that if this is an annual cost, that we can do, I don't know, I just wanted to have this discussion because I felt pretty much handcuffed by this procedure when I was doing stuff for Lakes and Beaches, and I was like, okay, I can't even get bids from people, you can't even get people to call you back, because they're used to us not calling them, or not hiring them, so, I don't know, we don't have to make a change today, I just wanted to have this conversation, maybe we need to change the values and put something in there about annual or recurring costs. If that's reasonable.
And I think you can also put something in there that says that you go out to get, you would like to have 3 bids, which is, you know, that's routine. But there are situations where you're not going to be able to get the 3 bids, and like John said, come back and say, we've solicited, these people did not respond. We need to move forward with this, because if you go out to other companies that are out of state, you're going to come back with a bid that's much higher, and it doesn't make sense. So,
Okay.
eliminate having to have 3 bids with the caveat that you need to show that you have solicited the bids. And then I agree, I think anything that's
Maybe it needs to be
recurrent.
new projects or something like that. We just need to rewrite it.
Well, that's what this is for. This is for, like,
It
this
doesn't
isn't
say.
for recurring, things that are already budgeted in our budget. Like porta potties
Right, it shouldn't be.
and roads
We
and,
would have to.
yeah, roads you have to.
Yeah. So what's that distinction?
Well, on some level, though, budgeted or not budgeted, it requires a board vote. Some of them just
Right.
require, if it's budgeted, just require a
$1,000,
dollar
yeah.
amount, the chair and the treasurer. Other ones in the policy at a certain dollar amount. it
Over
require-
$2,500.
Even if it's a budget or not, it requires the board to, to vote on it, so I think those are the items that,
And is that necessarily a bad thing? I don't know, we don't have to make any changes. I just think it would be I just thought it would be a good discussion.
it's probably worth updating the document. I mean, if it's 17 years old, then, either it
Maybe on
stands
these
as
smaller
it's-
amounts.
Well,
I would think anything, well, this says 500 to 25.
Well, while on that subject, I got a maintenance request I put in front of everybody. It's just stuff that we're gonna need. And, I mean, I didn't know what to say, and I didn't wanna go purchase anything, but I wanna get it approved through you guys.
Maybe you would have, other communities have these, or something we could look.
This
compare,
policy,
Something like this.
no, they don't. Typically, the board signs all contracts. So even if a committee has gotten the bids, they bring the bids to the board. Here's the bids, here's the committee's recommendation, and here's why. And the board will say, I approve or don't approve. But certainly if, you could certainly empower committee chairs
Okay.
to have
Yes. That's what we-
discretion up to
The board member, right, up to a certain amount.
a certain
Okay.
amount, as long as it's still within the
All right.
budget for
Well-
the year.
We'll take a look at this, rewrite a few, maybe throw some stuff out there for the next time. Okay, thank you. The next thing I wanted to talk about was moving things from our POA website to our CPM website, our CPM, place on our CPM file, if you will.
Portal.
Thank you. We have a lot of stuff out there. I mean, our website, I think, should be for the public, people who don't belong here or live here anyway, to come and look at or own a lot, not just people who live here. Look at it and say, what a wonderful looking place. Look at all the amenities they have. Put our rules on there, put our covenants and our bylaws, but I don't think we need to have all of our meeting videos on there. I don't think we need to have our financials on there. None of that stuff needs to be on there. And so decided to move all of those type things to our CPM portal. Mindy will make a page that'll have links on it. There won't be live links, but you'll be able to get a link. And then if you want to go look at the Lakes and Beaches meeting from October, you go to that one. And we won't put that stuff on our public website. And we're gonna start that just now. We have, well, let me just say quickly, I want to publicly thank Dave Bowden. Even though he said he was done as of the election, September 17th, 19th, whatever there was, he was wonderfully helpful to me for the transition, going from not having an email or a website administrator until we identified someone. And I'd also like to thank John Reckel, who's a community member who has stepped up to the plate and decided to provide those services for us in kind, as long as he can. And if it gets to be too much, then he'll throw up the surrender flag. But I would like to publicly thank both of those individuals for all that they've given to us over the last couple of months. So anyway, look for those changes. You won't be finding those things on our POA website. Our POA website would be pictures, events, covenants, bylaws, committees, committee members, etc. That's about it. The rest of the stuff you're going to need to go to the CPM portal. Okay? Just please spread that.
Are those videos, so those video links that would go those be private? No, those would be public.
They have to remain public, but you would have to go into the CPM portal to get the link, number one. So you need to be a homeowner or a lot owner just to have a CPM sign in, and then to get the link to go look at those. So is it foolproof? No. I mean, somebody could share, you could say, hey, I'm gonna share the link with my sister. We wouldn't know it, there's nothing we could do about it, but it's better than what we have right now.
I'm just saying,
Yes, your YouTube
so you
page is
could,
public, so
so you could go to YouTube and
a lot of people probably already have it bookmarked on
You
their
could
computer.
find it,
search ring.
you could find it if you just were so compelled to do that, but I think getting it off of our public website and having our public website say, hey, what a great place this is. I just had someone reach out to me a couple weeks ago, went to high school with them, said, hey, I saw your picture on your website. We always thought that was just a place you go on the weekend. I said, no, people live here, so they're interested in coming down to look at it. That's the distinction. So people are gonna say, how do I get to the security or whatever meeting? They're gonna have to go to the CPM portal and look up the link for that particular committee, okay? It's simple. If I can do it. I'm not a computer whiz, technology guy. All right. Any other unfinished business? If not, let's move to new business. The first thing, certification of coverage requirement for vendors working on rain tree property. What are you gonna say? I mean, that's the very beginning of this. Here's the,
Yeah, I guess that is mine, so we'll just, any business that's in Raintree doing business for us or conducting business has to have a certificate of insurance evidencing $1 million of coverage. And if they are providing any alcohol beverage sales, it goes higher, other insurance coverage is necessary, so. I am the events oversight chairman, so anybody that wants to have an event on Raintree's property, you need to see me before you communicate anything about the event, and we'll work with you to get everything squared away.
this goes from, now, if you ever hire a contractor to come in and do work on your yard or something, that's separate, so that's not Raintree property, but anything that's on Raintree property, if it's on our common ground, if it's on our beach, if it's on our boat ramp, whatever, there has to be coverage. You have to have someone, a certificate of insurance that's assigned to Raintree. Otherwise, we just have too much liability. I mean, unless you guys feel like taking on the liability if something happens bad, I don't think we want to do that. Okay. Approval of the Peachtree Road modification. I'll do this. I got a letter. I reached out to the fire department, asked them about the hump on Peachtree from the culvert. I said it's not acceptable. I talked to Dave. That's what I learned, that there's a pipe underneath the previous culvert, so it limited how deep the concrete culvert could go. Apparently, you think they smashed it on purpose before to get it?
It appeared that way,
Yeah.
that they smashed it and shoved it in, which that
I don't know if this,
definitely weakened it from day one, but
whoever
it
put
still
the,
collapsed from
Yeah.
deterioration of crust.
but the new one's concrete. It unfortunately, the diameter of it resulted in an elevation above the current road, and there's a significant hump there. I talked to Dave that day about it, where I got the letter from the fire department, and I misunderstood. I thought you meant the guys were coming that day.
No, I just came up with an easy fix. This is what we can do to fix it.
Okay, I thought you meant that, my bad, my misinterpretation. I thought you meant they were gonna be there that day, so I approved, I said, yes, have them fix it, feather it out, add some more asphalt to it so that it's, attenuate the slope, if you will, so it doesn't, you don't bounce, and that's what the fire truck doesn't wanna do. And so we need to, it was motioned and it was seconded, we need to have a vote. I don't think we completed the vote online, so.
Discussion.
Okay.
Is there a bid for this work?
Well, I don't know, we've talked,
So So we talked that, I mean, it's next to nothing to have them out and do it. I can have them bid it. We can get 3 people out there and bid it if you want.
I mean,
But the,
he probably needs to do it, but,
it's gonna be the cheapest to have them do it. They already got their equipment here and they're working.
but at one, I mean, we need to see in writing, like, how much it's gonna cost, because we didn't see that before the work was started, period. And we can't just approve, oh yeah, fix it, and then they come back later with whatever number they want. That's my
Did
opinion.
they give you any kind of a?
Well, it's the same thing I talked about. It's next to nothing to have them do it. So, I think I told you it'd be about $600. It's, I think it's about $600.
I have no idea where that falls in. Is that inexpensive for the?
Oh, anything.
Is it in
they do.
writing?
Yeah,
though?
to
Do
get
they
the,
give you something in writing? Don't they normally like give you?
Well, we have, yeah, but
something in writing?
since we're adding it to what they've already done, they're here, it's an additional $600. I can have them put it in writing for you.
Mhm. I'd like to see that.
So would the board be comfortable with approving it up to $600, or would you rather wait till we see the bid? What are they?
If they'll do it for 600, I think that would be a deal.
Yeah, if you want it fixed,
Now,
yeah, let's, I mean, they're in here this
So
week, I would just do it, but that's up to
I
you
would like
guys.
to get in the habit of having a written estimate or bid.
Yeah, I mean, I added it because you wanted it done. I mean, they marked it as a speed hump at this point, so there is markings there on it, but like you
Yeah, but
said,
the fire
it-
department's not happy with it, and that matters a lot more than the contractor.
We
Did the
can-
fire
we can
department
fix
give you
it
a
this week.
timeline or how long it takes?
No, they want to come back and look at it afterwards.
They will have to re-inspect it and approve it, so it
Yeah.
will have to meet the approval.
Well, then I'll amend my motion that we proceed with the repairs by the contractor not to exceed $600.
I second the motion.
Any other discussion? No, those,
So, are we gonna, I just wanna make sure we're clear, something gonna be in writing that it's gonna pass? We're gonna do this for $600, and the fire truck's gonna go through there, but they do $600 worth of work, and then the fire truck's gonna come back, and there's gonna be more money. I'm just asking, I don't know.
no, I think that's a good point. I mean,
It has to be it has to meet the criteria that the fire department requires. That's all. For 600, I'm good with that.
okay, yeah, can we get something in writing from the?
yeah, I'll have them put something right
And then
tomorrow.
it will pass the fire department inspection. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Dave, if you could just shoot your email, that would constitute in writing, it doesn't have to be a.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
proposal written up, I mean, just an email. Cover it.
I don't doubt that they'll do the right thing, we just need to have it written that they're agreeing that they're gonna make it right. Okay, thank you. The, budget approval, budget review and budget kickoff process?
I mean, basically what I said in my report, like Mindy handed out the proposed budget for next year, and I'd like all the committee chairs to look over their expenses and make sure they're appropriate for what they need, and if there's anything out of the ordinary coming up, that, you let us know so we can appropriate the money, where it needs to go. Maybe cut back on something else if we need to, or whatever, but, we'll be doing that in the next month, right, Mindy?
Let's say, how soon do we need to hear from people?
What's our deadline?
December meeting, we should have we have done in the past, but the budget should be approved before we roll into January, so.
I mean, can you get it in a couple weeks? Can you kind of let me know what you're thinking for next year?
We should be able to, what?
December 1?
Okay, December. Good.
just for anybody who hasn't gone through this, the budget's built off the preceding year's actuals plus whatever known changes we have. So, you know, if you know of something that, you know, you wanna do for the roads this next year, we didn't do this year, that would be more, you know, I think, Michael, when you look at the budget for lakes and beaches, you know, we had minimal for any lake treatment, so any proposals you have, you probably want to add that, cause it wouldn't be in last year's run rate.
That's
I have,
too,
just skimming over it, I have a couple of questions. You have,
Yeah.
for the hang tag expenses in 2025, you had 26,650, and your proposal for 2026 is 4,000. $22,000 less. I don't.
What, which one was it, hang tag?
The
income?
Hang tag says,
So this year in hang tag.
So, yeah,
Yes, you only budgeted that you were gonna get 8,000 in, income for that, but you actually have received 17,635 in income.
Okay.
So I usually try to budget fairly close.
Mhm.
Um,
So going to the security where it says property damage, 1,200, 246, 1,200, then budgeted for 2026, there's nothing.
which one is that?
It's 8635.
property
At
damage.
the rate they're going, we're gonna see that, and there's nothing budgeted for the gates.
Right, so there wasn't any, actually, the board budgeted a negative number for that, which is a little bit backwards. I don't know how else to say that, but in 2025, the board budgeted negative $246. So far this year, you've taken in $1,200 over and above expenses for property damage on the gates. Most of that was that front gate issue and a couple of others damages that have been collected. So they're kind of using that as a expense and an income.
Okay.
So,
It kind of washes.
Michael, let me explain the hang tag thing to you, because the income is the projected sales of the hang tags each year. But the board made a motion years, when we instituted the charge for that money was new revenue, so that money went to lakes and beaches. So the 26,650 that was in the expense line item was prior to last year's sales. So the budget for the upcoming year, Mindy, should be 2025's projected hang tag sales
Right.
plus the 26,650
Should be
minus
30,000.
whatever they might have spent out of that this year.
They have the expense under expenses.
Right.
Well, there's a hang tag expense, but the budget for it included all the money that was dedicated to it prior. So like, when we did this a year ago, this year's budget would be 26,650 plus that 17,600 minus the 3,400. That would be what's budgeted for them to spend next year on lakes and beaches improvements. It's not regular maintenance, it's things you're gonna add to it.
This is all new information.
Right,
should-
So
it's not
you'll
put in a
have
separate
to-
category right now.
It should straighten out too, because we were July to June, and then we went to a calendar year, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't matter to this stuff.
Doesn't.
The money
And then
just,
we found some things that were
yeah, the money
appropriated here
just
when
never
they.
got, the money just never got spent. So, you know, whenever we tried to, the lady tried to reclassify some stuff with Mindy and that, but, you know, that's for like, if you wanna expand the beach, expand parking across the street from the beach, you know, those, some of the work you did down there, you know, this year came out of that money, so, that's why the numbers look a little, I mean, there probably should be a revenue account of.
Right, there should
or
be a separate
asset
account for it if it
that's
has to roll.
That's holding the money, so it's kind of fudged into.
Yes, and I had mentioned to Elaine that.
Yep.
Well, you'll see I have a note on construction bond income, but we could do something similar for like the lakes and beaches, that
Right.
income that shows up, we could move that.
Yeah,
move
because
into
it is a
another
bit of
account.
a misnomer, because you're taking that money out of the assessment income for the year, but that money's really sitting in the bank already.
Well, I think we spent plenty on lakes and beaches upgrades this year to cover that.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody, look over your departments and try to get us any, if you see any big changes, or if you anticipate big changes, please get them to Elaine by December 1st.
So I'd like to bring up something before we're done on new business. So I guess back about a year ago, there was talk about eliminating the maintenance department altogether, and I think it even went through the board, and they were gonna sell all the equipment for $50,000, and I think that we fired the maintenance department back up and so much running, but we got 2 employees that are under a 1099. Contract workers that I think they've proven themselves and proven the work, kind of similar to what Tom used to do, that I'd like to put it out to the board to start thinking about putting these guys on actual payroll and paying, you know, they're working it like a job. We have enough work to give them 40 hours a week. And I think we used to run about 3 guys, including Tom, that if this appears to be working, I'd like to put it out there that we get this back together like it was, where we have 3 guys that we can count on payroll, that we know is here 40 hours a week and jamming stuff all year round, because there's stuff to do here.
We do 4 hours a day now,
Yeah.
trying to
and
keep
it's-
the expense down, but they work hard.
Yeah, so the amount spent would go up a little bit, putting these guys back on payroll, but it would go back to what it was for 20 years, or however many years. Tom put a whole career in, I think. 14 years, and we appreciate you doing that. I'd like to.
And there was, I mean, Al
That was before you.
was before me
Yeah.
for at least that long, I think.
And many good workers went through, I mean, starting from scratch, they worked their butts off, and they ended up starting businesses afterwards, and a lot of good people have worked for this place. And I'd like to continue that by offering maybe back to the same packages that they had, as far as, if they had benefits, let's look into
Kind
that.
of started down this
No.
road.
Not
Okay.
any benefits.
No benefits.
No benefits, no.
Okay, I started down this road, and, number one, I don't think we want them to be CPM employees like Haley is. We want
Correct, we
them-
just, Braintree.
Yes, I think we will.
You have a problem with that, though.
Okay,
We don't
let me
have-
finish.
we don't
You
have
guys
payroll.
keep it. Go ahead, John, talk amongst yourselves.
Well, if we.
I started down this road, I talked to CPM, it would be cost prohibitive for us to have them become CPM employees, so we really don't want them to be CPM
No.
employees. We want to be able to have them address the things that need to be addressed, when they need to be addressed. So currently, they're 1099s. I don't think we have enough manpower to do, we went from 3 full-time people to 3 part-time people, and that's why we just don't have the manpower. So increasing their hours is one thing, hiring them is a completely different thing, because then we would be responsible for giving them benefits unless they would work without benefits. But then we'd have to do their payroll. I talked to CPM about, hey, what would it cost to do the payroll? It would be very costly. They're not their employees, so it'd be like hiring an outside company to do payroll for us. If we think we could do that in-house, I don't know, John, you know more about that than the rest of us combined probably.
Yeah, you've worked for it.
Everything was shut down when we had no employees. So
Got shut down and then
final
they
tax
did that.
returns were filed for all the payroll taxes, and we don't have any systems that could run a payroll unless you got to do
Well,
it
they
manually.
can be purchased.
You could purchase it, yep.
Why can't we increase their hours.
I think.
Yeah, we can, it's $10.99.
I know, but you're saying they're only working 4 hours.
They've only been working 4 hours a day.
Can't we all?
Yeah, we can bump him up. Paul he's working on his house and he's taking the lead for right now. So we're down to 2 people, but they'll work. If they wanna work more, and if you guys want them to, they will.
I mean, it's an alternative if you don't
Well, I
want to
think
put them on the payroll.
we need to give them a list of things that need to be done,
They,
like weekly or
They do
bi-weekly
it.
or
We have-
monthly or.
Yeah, I'm just kind of asking for the board to think about this, and maybe we'll start putting a plan together, going forward.
Yeah,
We want to retain these guys that are doing great, we don't want to lose them at the same
Sure.
time, and, just want to start looking into that.
They don't sound unhappy when I talk to them. Have they voiced concern?
they would like this to have a little bit more because the time they pay their social security, which is like 16% or something, they're barely making $20 an hour. I mean, I talked to Dave and him about bumping them up $5 an hour, and I really think that would make them happy, and then we wouldn't have to mess with payroll.
Everybody pays social security tax. And
Well, no, but if they were working for an employer, the employer pays 7% and they pay 7%. So it's a 14% there, and then they have to automatically pay 1% to a federal premium, and then they have to pay a quarterly fee for being a 1099. So it's a little bit of effort, and so they're really not even making $20 an hour.
If we could just start looking into
I mean, we're
it, is there,
getting
is
We're
there
getting way down
options?
ahead, yes. I've been looking into this, which is why I gave you that information. I'll continue to look into it, and I would like to keep our own maintenance staff.
Thank you.
As long as they're qualified and they're doing a good job and they're getting the things done we need to get done, nobody's opposed to that at all. I don't know why they were cut to 4 hours. If that was somebody's decision.
No, they
to
were
save
never
money-
cut to 4 hours. We were just trying to keep down, and we were getting
Trying
everything
to keep
done.
costs
Trying to keep costs down to see where we're
extremely
at.
low so that people wouldn't say, we don't need you guys, we need these guys.
I was told you just said, I thought they only work 4 hours a day.
They do, that's because we were trying to keep costs down.
When was that decision made?
Last year, when we started, when we you gave us the keys and it was a blind run, we had a $17,000 contract with 1L, and we had to figure out what we was gonna do.
And the equipment was gonna be sold for $50,000,
$50,000,
but Mary Lou
and we
stopped it, and it's
Hundreds
like,
of thousands worth of
Yeah.
stuff down there.
So Dave, can you keep the same guys?
Yes.
yeah, I believe so.
Yes, they live here, and there's John Mosley and Jim Ferguson lives right down the street. They wanna work there. Matter of fact, they blew leads today, and they both did 12,800 steps, because we all keep track on our phone. And John said I did 12,800 steps before 11:15. So he worked his butt
So
off.
do we have a list of things?
Yes, sir, we sure do.
That get done on a regular basis?
Yes, sir, we sure
Can
do.
you share that with anybody?
Okay, it's down at the shop. We have a list.
Can you share it with us though?
Okay, well, Mindy prints out stuff and we'll get it. We can let you make the list if you want, and then you'll have it. No.
I actually just sent John, because he called this afternoon to go over some work orders.
Yeah, he got them all.
And I said, we talked about this very thing, and I told him it would be very helpful if we had it like on the web portal. And so I sent him kind of a sample calendar. It's just January, February, March through December, with a little block in each one that just kind of tree trimming begins, tree trimming ends, winterize the irrigation system, because I know that they do, every maintenance person does a lot of things that are just kind of in their head, so I said that would be good.
And we're on new
I just never
business.
knew why they got cut to 4 hours.
No, that's just, we were trying to keep our expenses down.
I got a question, Dave. The asphalt guys that are here, is there any way to get an estimate on the pavilion up top above the lake to see what that would be to asphalt both sides of that gravel driveway?
Absolutely.
I think I'd like to see that done. The parking lot up there is atrocious, and I don't know that it's that expensive to do.
Now,
It's just
I
gotta
will
be
say
fixed.
that I've got 1 or 2 roads that are probably, really need to be looked at prior to spending, because, I mean, that could be 60,000 or 30 to 60,000 to just asphalt that parking lot, roughly off the top of my head somewhere. But we've got a couple roads that are really, Redwood is my next one that I really, really wanna nail down. And, but I wanna make sure we don't spend money on a pavilion before we have a main road that needs to be
Got
able
other
to.
roads.
Yeah, that road looks like it's gonna collapse over there.
Yeah, it's been repaired so many times. Now, another thing that we have to keep in mind is that particular spot has so much shelf rock water that road, no matter what we do, may still be an issue.
When you say that particular spot,
There's
are you talking
that
about Redwood,
hill,
or are you talking about
the house next to Redwood, after April rains will leak water, and everybody thinks there's a broken water line that's been looked at many times. And the homeowner's like, nope, it dries up. But the water comes out of that shelf rock hill for a long time. So that road has been repaired 4 times, 3 times? Three. That we are looking at the issues, and I would like to also get a camera out next week for a couple $100 if you guys will approve that.
Okay,
In the culvert.
let's get back on the agenda if we can. We'll get to those things.
Can I finish maintenance since we was on it? I just got a little list of stuff that I'd like to get approved that we need to move forward with
Sure.
to help our trimming. I got a request from what do we need? We need oil, 2-cycle oil, lube for the trimmer. We need a new pole saw, a 690L trimmer, 25 bags of patch, lights for our 2 of our snow trucks would really help. I need 8 ratchet straps, and an echo blower, a PV920, and I got a price of $24.76 from Lawn Gone Equipment, and the patch and the other things would be about $550 from Menards. I was just running that past you since we were bringing up money. That's something we need to move forward with.
Scott, somebody mentioned a vibrator before?
Oh,
Yeah, it goes on the side of the salt box, and we've got one that's already kind of being a little intermittent-y. And I don't like that, and I want one on the shelf because we don't have time to come up and wait for the next board meeting. We don't have time to even say, hey, where's the credit card? This piece needs to be bolted on in the middle of a salt storm. You know, that we need to get this stuff out for the ice. And I don't know if people realize that. Tom knows it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you don't plow without a vibrator on your spreader.
Right, and really we need excess parts on the shelf and a little warehouse for some of this stuff, because I can't tell you how many times we went and got parts last winter on the fly, and we can't ask going, can we get this or not? It has to be done immediately. We're knocking on guys' doors in the middle of the night that supply parts, and some of this stuff you just can't wait. You know, it's do or die to get everybody to work the next day.
Spending costs.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, so we need a motion to approve this.
Please. I make a motion for the stuff of lawn care equipment, for the shop supplies and 2 new pieces of stuff. I make a motion for that, and then the Menards, I think she can get it on. Okay, go ahead.
Let's do this one.
Do this one first, okay.
Motion to approve
Approve
the quote from lawn care equipment.
from lawn care, our equipment, oil, and supplies.
I'll second that motion.
All right, any discussion?
I just would like to know, do you have a list of the equipment that you do have?
No, we talked about that when we moved in. We never got a list of anything we have. Like when the sale for $50,000.
Could
Yeah,
you
it'd be nice to
put
have an inventory.
together
Yes.
an inventory?
Yes, we need that.
Because-
We don't know how many saws. I mean, when we took it over, you just sit here.
Yeah, but
So,
you've been doing it for a year. Have you not put together a list?
No, we never
All
have.
right, she's asking you.
Yeah, we will.
okay.
Tom probably knows in the back of his
He's
head.
told me to get there and help us.
Well, we had done that for a number of years and had in the last few, I mean, there's a,
Okay,
there's an
let's
inventory
just
somewhere.
put a new one
Okay,
together.
we will. We'll do
Okay,
that.
so there is
Where it
somewhere.
is, 'cause it's
Okay.
We'll look for it.
And just like, so as far as a backpack blower, like, don't you have those,
It's
right?
just not a jump. With our contractors bring theirs from home.
Yeah, they
They-
sent me some pictures.
They sent pictures. They use their own blowers today because ours don't start. It's hard. Tom knows how old they are.
They get that.
Yeah, they get bad. It's
I mean,
due.
if we're
And
talking about 1L,
No, ours. Our guys.
Oh,
They
I
brought
thought you
their,
said one
John
uses
and Jim brought their own blowers to
Oh.
work because ours don't work very well.
Yeah.
And they've been using their own. They sent pictures, matter of fact, I can share with
They've never
everybody.
done
so this is just replacing things that
Replacing
you
stuff.
already have?
Yes, and the pole saw needs a rebuild kit. It was gonna be, I don't know how much it was. Paul was looking at it. It don't run, it's hard to start, and it's something we need, and they use it every day.
Okay. All right.
with the steel or the red max?
The steel, well, you mean the blower or the pole saw? The blower, both of them are bad.
Red max is only a few years old.
Any other
Yeah,
discussion?
John's been having bad issues with his red maxes.
Anybody, any other discussion?
I got one more question. As far as getting work done and stuff, I don't think Scott, mine, or Jim's code works to get in this office anymore. Is that a glitch or is that on
Right,
purpose?
that's not,
Yeah.
can we finish this? Can we just do one thing?
Let's get my money for the guys with equipment first.
Copy. Oh,
John needs equipment. He's tired of using his own stuff.
So, any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor, raise your hand, please.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Scott, what was the other thing you wanted?
I would like to have 25 bags of asphalt patch on hand. I need 8 straps to strap in the salt spreaders in the back of the truck, because they're last year's or the year before's, and you don't want an accident to happen, it's a liability.
Sure.
So we'll have a brand new,
How much are the,
$15 a piece, and I need 8 or 6.
no, the patch?
Oh, $13, $14 a bag, about $400.
$400.
But they might make us order more if it's off season, they have a minimum, but we go through. It don't go bad, and we don't run out of holes.
So, $400.
Or better, yeah, and then straps,
That's minor.
they're 14 a piece, and we need 2 on, or at least 2 on each one, maybe
So
3.
you need,
yeah.
We got 3 trucks.
so not.
I mean, really, the salt boxes have one in each corner, I think.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion to do that, or?
I mean,
Less
That's
than
under
400,
the-
under
right.
500.
it's under,
It's under 5, right?
yeah.
I try that, yeah, I can order it twice.
It wouldn't be under 500 deal, would it? That's okay. If we need it, we need it. So could
That's-
somebody make a motion?
That's one of the things that's routine.
That's what I was gonna order.
I agree.
It should be in his budget. It should be in the budget already.
Right.
So Scott, you made a motion, did you second?
I'll
it?
second.
And we,
Any further discussion, any discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor, raise your hand. Okay, motion passes. Okay. How about approval of to contract the geotechnical engineer to inspect the spillway?
The bid we got was for $3,000, and that was from, Shannon Wilson. And I already read out the other ones. One was a $5,000 bid. One was too busy to bid, and the other one, after a week and a half, reached back out to me and told me that they decided they didn't want to bid on it. So what they will do is they're going to basically do a review of winter and summer, the seepage, and the spillway, all inclusive. For them to do that, what they would charge is $3,000, and then they would basically give you their report and say this is what needs to be done.
And we have
So the committee requests that I come to and have it approved.
So can we say the motion is to accept a bid for $3,000 from Shannon Wilson to review winter, summer, lake seepage and spillway and create a report?
Yep.
That's the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? No? Those in favor?
The name is wrong in the agenda, so it's just a different, same thing, different company name. The agenda says geotechnical.
That's the name, that's the person, it's a geotechnical.
The type of.
that's what they're gonna do.
It's a geotechnical engineer, got it?
Right, okay. All right, motion carries unanimously. How about approval to mount and connect cameras to view the maintenance area?
There's a couple things. First off, we had an issue with the gate today, leaving here. And it's gonna, the original bid from a guy that came out because of warming up, the motor was out. He's got it right where it's gonna work, but we need to get a motor on it. Original was $1,274. Dan Oslinski contacted a wholesaler and he got it for $553 a part, plus taxes, be about $640. And he can put the part in. So I would request, I mean, I just found this out before the meeting, if we could get that approved. And that's the exit on Collin Drive, the tower, the arm that lifts it up. The motor needs to be replaced. The cameras is kind of to get the signal back up here, we need a point-to-point access, which is a cost of it's reoccurring, it's $30 a month or $360 a year. We have to have electric ran and the cameras, and we guesstimated it'd be somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000 to have it done. So what would it be is where the water treatment place is down there, there's a 6x6 pole, it's about 30 feet high. There'd be 2 cameras on that, one at the maintenance shed and one at the gate. But we need electric ran to that as well. So my motion would be to request spending up to between $1,500 and up to $2,000 for the electrical work that would need to be done and installing the 2 cameras down the mains.
And the cost of the cameras is?
And the cost of the recurring, which is $30 a month.
Okay. Second?
I second it.
Any discussion?
Who seconded it?
And
I did.
I have one other thing just for discussion. We have a golf cart downstairs.
Wait.
Let's vote on this. Okay. All right, those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Okay.
We have a golf cart downstairs, and it's seen better days. We kind of need 2. One of them would be for I think Deb was talking about new people coming in here and or when Haley needs to go and change things or a board member needs it. And the other one would be for security. And I like to entertain at least looking at a gently used one or 2 to replace with the one downstairs. The one downstairs, the brakes are completely shot and the thing doesn't run. I did talk to Tom and he said when they bought it, they overpaid for it. They had a bunch of work done to it. I don't know how long ago that was, several years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. So to spend in the upwards of $800, $900, $1,200, I don't know what it's gonna cost to have somebody work on it. I think it's probably just as good to get a couple.
Can you get some ideas on what to do?
I can, I just wanted to put that out there that, you know.
All right. Why don't you get some?
I'll do some research on it, I'll get it to you.
All right. You said you had another thing.
Oh, I'm good. No, I was just curious why our codes aren't working. I didn't know if it was a glitch or.
So the only people that have access to it, do you need access to it?
Well,
Is there something you
I
need?
think in the past 30 years, has there ever been board members not allowed in there?
No, it's a security question is why do people need to go in there? If you need access, we can get you access, but John doesn't have access, Scott doesn't, you don't, Mike doesn't, Jim doesn't. I mean, it's only the board.
I was just,
The officers.
it was a
If
new
you need it
policy.
though, what?
That's a new policy, so I was curious. I never ran into that yet before.
We could, I mean, if you feel like you need access, let us know.
I mean, we've always had
Dan
it
has it.
before.
Yes. Okay. Well, the fewer people we have going in and out of it, the less likely, something, and the door could be left unlocked or something. Okay, does anybody have anything else?
Yes, I've got a question, if you don't mind. About a year ago, maybe it wasn't a year ago, there was a motion made by the board to reduce the dimensions on the fences as far as the gaps in between the.
For the steel fence.
For the spindles.
For the spindles on the
fences.
fences, right. So, was that a motion or was that for the whole ACC committee?
Or was it a one-time
It
thing?
was a one-time
No, it
thing.
wasn't.
Wasn't it a one-time
No,
thing?
Kent wanted it to be across the board.
No, I
remember
wanted
that.
it to be a one-time thing and one time, rather,
That's how it started.
I didn't want it to be, and we the ACC denied it twice, and so the homeowner appealed it, and the board chose to give her an exception. In fact, there was a discussion, and one of the board members said, let's just change it, and it was changed to 1 in 5 acres.
Part of the problem when you create the one-offs, unless you have a specific, and she did not have a specific reason,
Okay.
you create a benchmark that now allows that you can't say no afterwards. So if you're gonna approve it for the one, just approve it and make the change, and then.
Okay, well, I'd like to make a motion to rescind that, the previous motion that was passed.
Did she put the fence in?
Yeah.
Because if she put the fence in because she had a little dog, that was her only exception reason why. If somebody else comes in here and wants to do that, you're gonna have to grant it. Otherwise, you're gonna have exposure to the fact that you granted her something for, which isn't, a little dog doesn't grant a reason for a variance of, you know.
I don't know if I agree with you.
Okay, but you're gonna have to continue to grant every person's variance to change the spindle of a fence, because you granted one already, so what are you gonna say no to the next one? So that's why we just said change the ACC policy. If it's okay to do this one, then if somebody wants to do it in the future, then do
The
it.
ACC voted
No, they
twice
said no.
to deny it.
Right.
But the board overturned it.
It's an exception, that's what it's.
But it's not an exception based upon any other thing you grant an exception to, you know.
Usually
but,
it's,
you know, I mean, because she has a little dog wouldn't really be a reason to grant an exception. An exception would be, you know what, it's,
well, why did they
Yeah,
do it
man.
then? Why did they approve it?
I don't know why the board approved it, you know.
I know she had that,
Felt
that
sorry.
little bitty dog
Felt
she was
sorry for
afraid
him.
that it was gonna get into the neighbor's yard with the big dogs and it was gonna be dead. So I remember that was why she was coming for the exception.
But once you grant the exceptions, you have to continue granting them. And somebody say you
I
get it for a little
I recall
dog, you gotta
saying
do
that
it
I'm
for,
afraid this is
you
gonna
know,
set a precedent.
I got a cat.
And I was
got a-
told it wouldn't be a precedent, that we could change it back if we wanted to, and
I'm making a motion to change it back to 3 inches like it was for 40 years.
anybody second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? No? Okay.
Are they not gonna go back and make that lady change hers?
No.
No.
I don't think we can.
She got it.
Okay.
No, it was approved.
That's, I agree,
Alright,
exception's
so-
exception.
All those in favor, raise your hand. Okay.
No, it doesn't, to me, it's not a valid
Okay.
reason to grant an exception.
All right, anything else? Anything else? All right, then I move to adjourn. I'm not gonna whack this here, you. It was too loud. All right, thanks. We'll move to an open forum. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You did great. Oh, fantastic.
I practiced my speech.
There you go.
All right, Ed?
Thank you very much. Who's our attorney now? Did we keep the same attorney or did we go back to Stanley Sneer or what?
Ed DeBasio, is that?
Disabout.
Disabato. Ted Disabato.
Okay, I saw a thing for Stanley Sneer under legal on bills and I thought, oh, you know, okay. Dave, the pair
He
in
was-
Richmond.
He did the election. He did.
Okay, all right. The repair on Richmond, I'm just curious, you know, do we tear up the whole road and come in there again and repair the whole section, or what do we do?
So there was sections that were dug out and repaired full depth. So that's the full 8-inch rebase. And then the entire strip was overlaid because it was time to do that, the cracks were getting bigger.
So some of the spots that we're repairing the roads, we're doing it the right way.
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to make it. And John, I just want to tell you, you know, like the fence thing, you know how you're saying, well, you give it once and I remember way back when I was on the board, I mean, we were granting variances to people to go all the way to the 6th road line, even though they did it their house.
But
We weren't telling people
to stay within the lines and everything. This was way back in 2000, so this was years ago. And then finally we decided, no, we're not gonna do that anymore. So, I mean, you know, it's just, one of those deals where, it's not, you don't hog tie yourself into something sometimes, you know, there are workarounds. That's all.
When did we change to a calendar year for the budget?
2 years
What was
ago.
your-
The year when I went, in 23, I did a budget for January through June. And then,
And then,
I
And we did this
off,
6
so
month.
there would have been,
no, you went at July through December, and then we started the next year with January through December.
Right.
that must be right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what was the reasoning for that? I mean, we're on a fiscal year, July through June, because we get the bulk of our income in July. And it was always easier to do the budget, you were advised to do the budget then because it was the end of the fiscal year.
Our
So
accounting,
I just wondered,
our accounting fiscal year is January through December.
right?
So there was a non-fiscal year budget that was done for a number of years. And one of the things when we were on QuickBooks is at the beginning of the calendar year, you lost all the year to date. So it was very difficult and manual to figure out where you stood against the budget. So the board had agreed, I think unanimously, to change to do the budget to match the accounting year. Because even though
Why did
the
you change the fiscal year to January through December?
the fiscal year always was January to December. That's the accounting year.
Yeah, no, it was the accounting year, but the fiscal year is July through June. Because it's a nonprofit, most nonprofits are that way.
But there's nothing on our records that show we have a year of July through June.
Well, I was just
So
curious why we changed
it
part
was
of it,
changed
but
to
not
make
the
it
rest.
easier to budget, easier, because you know what your revenue is from the prior year, you know what the assessment increase is, so you can budget for what your money is, and that way it kept the budget year in sync with the full year account. Was the reason behind the change. And we've done that way in 24 and throughout 25 so far.
Joe?
Well, last month, somebody brought something up about us needing a stoplight out here. You can't do that because you'll get people killed. But the system they put in 3 or 4 years ago, it's not working. Okay, you go down Highway B at the maintenance shack, and they got those yellow lights. You can go down towards, on Highway 30, they got those flashing yellow lights. The other day, I went down to Highway 67 over 110. They just installed that in 3 new areas. We have nothing here. You know, we need that. And something else we need is a siren when there's bad weather. You can't hear it down there. A siren here would cover this whole area. We're the high point. Can you guys look into that? I know Dennis did one time.
Yeah, sure did. In fact, it took us 3 years to get the highway department just to put in the Christmas tree lights on here.
Yeah, they're
And,
worthless.
it's useless, you know, but we can petition them again.
I mean, you can go to a state representative, or you can, you know, you can do something like that. I mean, there's probably 2,500 people live here. You know, we're not little. We deserve more.
We can start over with it again.
The guy from Moncton that spearheaded that lives in here.
Yes, he does.
Oh, boy. He did us a favor.
But he got us Christmas tree lights instead of,
Yeah.
you know,
Merry Christmas.
yeah.
I don't think it would be hard to get though.
Well,
You're right.
we certainly try.
Well, they got it everywhere else, why can't we have it?
I know.
You know?
I agree.
Same with the siren.
Sirens are controlled by the county.
Yeah, I
Sirens
know.
are controlled by the, I think it's the weather, US Weather Department.
Well, I know there's supposed to be 3 within hearing distance of us being installed.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
Yes.
they added, how many was it countywide, 100?
I can't remember, but one's gonna be on, like, is it Turkey Hill or something?
One's gonna be below down on BB, below our large dam, I think, yeah.
I know those two were coming in here, 'cause I saw it, the article in the paper, and I called, I was like, we need one here. Yeah, she was here.
Well, we need one here bad.
Who's installing those? You know?
Oh my gosh, that was over a year ago, I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a countywide grant, but I'll have to go back and look at that article.
Yeah. So they are making it.
Linda?
I think I have a comment and a paragraph to say. I think it has to do, I'm thinking umbrella-wise, it has to do with communication and community. And so one of the things I'd like to say is I appreciate the idea that we're gonna use the CPM portal now for information, video replays of the meetings and that kind of thing, clean up the website. So I think that's a great step in the right direction. Some of what I'm thinking is 6 years ago when the Community Relations Committee was a committee that happened for a while, Mike, before some of your time, but we did have town halls and got information from people, well, how could we improve Raintree? And a lot of it had to do with communication. People wanted more communication. And that's happening since then, 6 years ago, we started the MailChimp that got emails out. Now we have CPM that gives us the emails, which is wonderful, and the text messaging, which is great.
From Stan.
From Stan, exactly. So that's good information. We're recording this meeting, and I know we have recorded in the past some committee meetings. I'm not sure all committee meetings are getting recorded. People continue to ask me because for a while, Mike and I would record them before we had this camera set up. And I would share the link and people would watch, the replay of committee meetings. So I guess I'm asking for sure, can we have that happening again to where the committee meetings are being recorded and the video be put through the CPM portal so that only owners get access to that? Because it's a form of communication. A lot of people cannot attend these meetings. And I know the recent committee meetings, now they're a little earlier than they have in the past, so a lot of people can't, attend those just because of the timing of them, and that's always gonna be the case, no matter where they are, when they are. But part of it is, it's, when we did the CRC, a lot of people felt like they belonged more when they got the communication, and a lot of people need communication in different formats. Having the written minutes is a great way to do it for some people that like to gather their intel that way. A lot of people like to watch the videos. Definitely since COVID, the whole world went to videos, and so now people are really watching a lot of videos as a way of getting their information. There's lots of, not celebrities is not the right word, people now put out their training and different things through videos because that's a good way of reaching everybody without people having to show up, to a meeting that might not work in their time frame. So I guess I'm just asking, will that be, like, I didn't get to attend the last rules meeting that you did, Mike was able to do it, so I had to ask him, okay, what happened? I would have appreciated watching, the video. Some of what you kind of mentioned about how social media, I think, and that may have even been the meeting you were talking about, that some people here went out on social media and said, blah, 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 and I think you're saying that's not what happened. And so I think it's helpful for people to know, I watched the video and sure enough, that didn't happen,
I don't think we have an issue with recording the meetings. We can't be the ones responsible for setting up the recordings. We don't, if there's people who are capable and willing to do that, I don't think that we have a real issue with, I'd have to talk to all the different committee chairs, but I can't think there's anything that.
So what do we need to put in place so that we can get the meetings recorded and then put through the CPM portal? And part of it is because in the past, when we recorded things and people would bring up stuff, questions, I'd say, no, go watch that roads meeting where they talked about this and that,
Yeah, when you say, what do we need to do, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that we're gonna be responsible for setting up the cameras and recording the
we bought those. John's got the tablet over in the
Yeah,
corner to control it.
But I don't know how to.
Right, we just, I think, need to train, if we're gonna do it, we just need to train the committee chairs that are having a meeting how to launch the, I mean, it's pretty easy, isn't it? Once you know how to do it.
This is easy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of, here's the steps to do it, so,
Or a team of volunteers that can help out so that the committee chairs can run their business and other people can do it. That can happen as well if that's all what you decide. My point being, I think it's important for the community and communications to get access to this information. It will keep, I believe, the negative chatter on social media down, because it's very easy to go watch the meeting in your CPM portal. It will also point people to the CPM portal more and more and more,
Right.
which I think we all want everyone to go to the CPM portal to get our information.
Okay.
Can I address that?
What?
Can I address that?
Yes,
So I think it's a work in progress. So I think these cameras are fine, they're working, and this little pad is easy to work and everything. But it's not ideal to have to set this out and everything. So the ideal is to continue with the technology committee that we have to mount these cameras somewhere, so somebody doesn't have to bring them out or anything. And hopefully be able, we're working towards other technology here, to where every committee can maybe use the same laptop and just start their work on that laptop, and it just works, and we just have to get it configured right and get the right equipment and everything. But there's other things taking place first before that. So I think by next September, maybe that wish will be here, hopefully not that long, but I would say there's things in the workings to make this possibly happen, make it a lot easier. And sound too, so the back of the room can hear that microphone a little better.
So if you get a team of people that are willing to come up and do, Mike and I attend a lot of the committee meetings. So if we're gonna be here, we may as well do this if we have permission to do it, and hand the file over to whoever it gets filed so that CPM can put it on the portal.
Right, so it's still a work in progress to even get the CPM part done. And ideally, I see it technically possible that you will only be able to see it from the CPM portal, so you can't share it. I think that can be done, so that you have to see it from the CPM portal. There's a way through firewalls to cause that to just be from that one spot. To be able
I don't think we know the answers to those yet, but so. All right, anybody else? Yes, Nancy?
Mike Martin, please. My name's Nancy Gow. I'm Nancy. You stated that Autumn Lake is overpopulated, has possibly too many bigger fish, and we need to make
It's the thought of the gentleman that came out here.
Not bigger fish, just.
And you said that he talked about doing a fish survey, shocking it and whatever. I'm all for that. This is just something that's rolling over in your mind, or this wasn't put in the form of a motion. You didn't attach a cost to it. Is this?
He's gonna come out December 1st. The cost on it, I think, is $3,500.
Yeah.
For both lakes. So they would do.
That's not the Shannon and Wilson.
No.
Okay, this is totally separate. Okay.
That's an engineer firm.
Okay.
This is something totally different, but.
So December 1st is the Lakes and Beaches. Right.
He'll be here. He's gonna come out on the 1st of December and give us a presentation. So if you're available then, you can come out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Joe?
My question's for Elaine. I know you're addressing some of the issues that I brought up when we talked.
Yep.
My real big concern right now is we have $911,000 in our operating account. It's uninsured.
No, that's already in the process of, we're only gonna have 250,000 in that account. The rest.
Anything over 250, if I'm right, is not insured by the FDIC.
Correct. So that anything over that 250 amount is going into the ICS accounts, which is there's multiple accounts in there.
I've been talking about this for a lot of months, and I've always been afraid that the bank is going to go under, and we're going to be holding the bag here. You're addressing the issues.
At that meeting on November 4th, we already have that in place happening. So lots of the CDs opening and also moving the money somewhere it's not more than 250,000 in any account.
My other question is, and this is just a spreadsheet question, is your balance sheet gonna show these additional accounts and
Yes.
what bank they're with?
Yep.
And the interest rate that they're showing you, or?
We don't have the interest rates, but I can look at those. I mean, I can let you know what those
Okay,
are.
well, I was just wanting to make sure that this is not the same thing as been getting all these months, which has been really inadequate for me, being a
I'm working on it.
Yeah, you are, you're doing great. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
The other question I have is probably for Kent here. Mr. Clark, how come he had to get permission to buy equipment that should have been budgeted for in his budget?
Like asking permission for oil, that should be a supply.
Right.
I don't understand that.
I'm learning too, but John said it's probably in the budget, so it may be already.
But what I'm saying is, the man needs the equipment, and
Right.
it's not like he's buying a new
That's
truck.
hence the review of the purchasing policy. That's why.
Some of those items should have been just routine maintenance supplies within the
Everybody
budget.
that runs
But when
a
you,
Yes,
unit this
we totally agree with you.
has to have the ability to go out and
Totally
buy.
agree with you.
But
The maintenance
he
department
didn't-
has its own credit card and they are capable, they're able to go
I
and make
didn't
those.
understand that.
Scott decided to bring it here and we're not gonna deny it. We all
I know,
approved
but
it
if he needs
unanimously.
it now,
What?
if he needs it immediately, he
Yeah,
should
he
be
can go
able
buy
to
it,
get
yes. Yes. Yes,
he has the ability, but some of the things on this list are
Where-
expensive items, $600 and $700 and $800 items, so those do.
He gave us
Is
two,
that equipment that he's
Yeah.
selling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was like $2,500 worth of
So
equipment.
that should have been in his budget for this year for the equipment.
There is budget for that, but any amount, when you're spending a large dollar amount, the board has to vote on it.
Well, I understand that, but I don't know what your dollar amount is.
That's the purchasing
That's the
procedure that we were talking about earlier. It's in that.
It needs to be reviewed, Joe. We're reviewing it.
Well, and I was a little confused when he, asked
Nope.
those things.
He didn't have to bring all that, but he brought it here, so we just voted on it, said, yes, approve it. Let's move on, let's
Right.
get it, let's get
It's
it.
not on
and
the
get-
He knows
agenda.
that if he needs
What?
he knows that he needs something
Yes.
he can go get.
Yes,
As long as it's a reasonable price.
he's been doing that since
I think
yes,
that's where
yes.
inventory comes in good, that everybody knows what it is, because then, if this piece of equipment's only gonna, Tom, this is,
I just
some of these are
figured
only
that
good,
was
gonna
tied
last you
hands.
3-4 years, then you know you need to budget it to replace it in the coming year.
Right.
Andy Huber, hey, this is towards Mike. When we have somebody vandalize or hit a gate, how do we get paid and how quickly? And also on this back gate, there is a swinging man gate. Can we get that closed? And I know all the motorcyclists are gonna be pissed. I'm a motorcyclist also. I was coming out that gate, motorcycle went the opposite direction to go through it. I guess because, I don't know if the motorcycle doesn't actuate, it should. But anyway, he came through the opposite side of the gate. So he got upset that I didn't let him proceed forward. So can we get that gate closed? Is there a reason why that man gate is open?
Which main gate?
The back gate, the one by the clubhouse, going into Raintree, the one you have to use the key card. There is a steel gate that is open.
To the right side.
Yeah, well, that's good for golf carts. People with a golf cart can go through there.
But why?
Because if you don't have your gate card in your golf cart,
That's
how are
not-
you gonna get in?
You should pull a code. No, call your code or have a
No, I'm
card.
not gonna call it code.
Pardon me, we've had a number of gate arms destroyed because golf carts going through it. Actually, the camera was originally mounted on that brick monument there, and the camera got taken out. So, yeah, I agree.
I know, because that's.
There was always all kinds of pushback. We even drilled a hole, there's a rod that goes down, the hole has to be drilled out.
Right, so you can lock it.
And then two washers that you put a lot of padlock through the lock.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, hey,
So my question, what's the bandwidth?
Guys, let's let one person talk at a time, please.
So again, my question, what's the
Let's
bandwidth?
let one person talk at a time.
So what's the vandalism cost? I mean, maybe even putting a sign, hey, you tear up our gate, it's $1,000. You know, just like paying a road worker or doing something. Maybe that might deter them, I don't know. But it seems like
It's $250 for the damage, okay?
That's what it costs, or that's what you charge?
That's what Raintree has established, the charge is $250. It doesn't quite cover what we do. I mean, there's 2 to 3 hours sometimes looking up video, then there's hunting the people down.
Correct.
And the lady today was appalled that I went to her house asking her if she did it because she couldn't believe that somebody from Raintree would go and ask her that. Instead of coming up here and facing the fiddle, saying, hey, I wrecked your gate, she just blew through it and just figured we shouldn't come talk to her.
So how do we as members make a motion to change that and not have to wait all the way to September? So I would like to make a motion that we up that to $500 to make a fine.
You can't make a motion. You can
Well, I understand that.
You can talk to Mike after
Okay.
the meeting separately, and maybe he can bring that up at the rules or.
We already have something in the works.
Yeah.
I just, after today's incident, I was talking to the members and we got something in the works.
Yeah, because like you said, if you're spending 5-6 hours, it's not cost efficient.
I'm not trying to cut you off.
No,
It's already
real
9
quick.
o'clock. Let's talk.
Forgive my bad memory, but aren't there signs at the gates that says $500 for something?
I don't know, I don't remember seeing them.
Did it get changed?
It's $250.
500 was for ATV.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. And, I'm sorry, one more thing. Dave, thanks for bringing up, getting a real maintenance crew back.
I think it's
And
time.
because there's no way we were ever gonna be able to afford contracting out all the work.
No, I mean, in the top of my head, I'm thinking 400 to 600,000 a year. If you contract out everything,
This is ridiculous.
would you agree that it would be an astronaut? I would love
We
to
couldn't
know
do
the
it. It
actual
would
number.
break the community.
Yeah, I would actually know the number that
I
you
think
guys
it would be
spent
good.
every year, or, you know, over the last, say, 10 years, just to kind of get a number of what we really should be shooting for that maintenance department for full coverage.
It would be good to get an idea because it's gonna be a lot more than it used to be. So that'd give us an idea of, hey, the board and the community, we're gonna spend a bunch more money than we did previously to have the same level of competence.
It was a number, my budget was $53,000 to spend on juice stroke oil, and everything else that came along with it. And then our wages were for me and, in the end, me and 2 guys I had left.
Well, we could.
Were 100.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So
We're not gonna
way
find,
less.
we're not gonna find people for $100,000.
No, it's way less.
What's that?
I said it's way less than what.
So I'm saying if
Then
we
we're
outsourced
contracting it out.
it would break this.
No, I mean,
To
even if we
Dave's
went and
point.
tried to find people,
Well,
you're not gonna find 3 people for that. Anyway, Randy?
Yeah, on
You
the
had 2.
main
I will
gate,
say you
I
had
didn't hear
2.
the solution or
You had
whether
one.
it was addressed about closing the main gate. Are we gonna try to get that closed? Cause I see people go through there, like these people on the e-bikes. There's 10 in a row that just go flying through there and I don't even know if they live in here. And then like he says, I see golf carts go through there and hit the gate. And I just wonder if we couldn't get that closed permanently. I mean, what's it good for?
Yeah, you can't say it's the width because it's the same width on all the other gates, so it's not like you have a large truck coming in here and you have that main gate.
I don't think you should make a decision tonight.
No.
No, I'm just asking for it to be addressed, cause I see
Okay.
a lot of
All right.
abuse for that gate being open.
We'll look at it, but I don't think anybody's gonna say yes or no tonight.
I have a question for Dave on the Raintree. Did these employees or did these contractors, John and them, did they come to you saying, hey, we'd like to be employees and have benefits, or how did this come about?
It came up because I've got just wanting to secure what we have and don't want to lose John. If we lost Mosley, I don't know where we'd even be right now.
Okay, so that doesn't answer my question. So did he come approach to you? So
no.
Is he unhappy is what I'm trying to get to.
This is the thoughts of trying to put it more in stone because like I said a year ago, it was on the chopping block to be Ichnade, the whole maintenance department.
Correct.
And equipment sold. So I'm just trying to moving forward, putting this back to how it was and securing that we have 2 or 3 people on a regular basis that we know will be there.
But that's not a guarantee that it's gonna stay. I agree with you, they probably do need a pay raise being self-employed. I was self-employed for many, many years. That was my choice.
Correct.
I enjoyed it. So, you know, giving them a bonus or giving them a raise, I tremendously do that. But once you start putting insurance in there and time off and things of that sort, it's gonna blow the budget completely.
Exactly. All right, we're looking at it. We've been looking at this for a month now, and we'll continue to figure something out. This is an ongoing thing. We have to address it. We need more manpower.
Yeah.
I guess
But we have to figure out how we can afford it.
part of, I guess, what sparked it is I know that there was a call made to Cozell right after the election and maybe trying to get him to do some more services or something. And I think he's like, no, I want no part of this. So that's kind of where the thoughts that we've got to make sure that everything is secure.
Do more?
Did any of you guys call John Cozell?
Well, I talked to him, yeah, but I didn't ask him to do any work.
You had a contract with him.
What?
You had a contract with him.
Right.
No, I
mean, you did.
No, we have a grass cutting contract.
September 1st, you had a contract that was.
I didn't know if you asked him if he wanted to do snow removal. Did you ask him that or?
No, I asked him about
No,
stuff.
what you're talking about, that's what Scott was running around telling everybody.
No.
Because Scott said the same thing to me.
Somebody verified it with.
It was Scott Clark. Scott Clark was telling everybody that kid was, it was, because he sent it to me.
What I'm saying though is that.
I was part of the conversation. I didn't ask him to come and do snow removal. Okay?
Okay.
Period.
No, but what he's referring to is what Scott Clark was telling everybody. Because he said it to me.
All right.
I just wanna throw out this to you guys, this deal about the workers. There's no rule or law that says that this community cannot pay their part of the social security. If you give them a pay raise, it's not gonna make them happy, because they still have to pay the social security.
Okay.
So if
We're working on it. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out, guys.
And the other thing with Mike here about the damage to property, are we prosecuting?
Yeah.
One last thing, I'm gonna take over for Jim. We did a veteran celebration, and I'm gonna be volunteering. So when we have something coming up, and Jim was very helpful getting this at the last minute, doing this ceremony. So I don't know how you wanna address it, but I'd like to volunteer to run a committee to do a Veterans Day, a 4th of July ceremony. I don't wanna take away from the fireworks or anything of that, but we have so many veterans in this community. It's awesome.
If you have something you'd like to put together, you can send it to Events Oversight, and they will look at it, make sure you
Yeah,
have
because I
all
want to make sure I don't step on anybody's toes. That's why we had it at the country club and that, so. And again, thank for everybody that came out. That was, I thought it was only gonna be 5 people, and it was tremendous.
And it was great.